Tobago, Tobago.
Who are you?
Tobago, Tobago.
Where are you?
Tobago,
Where are you going?
Tobago.
This is you.
In 1997, my husband and I were driving on the highway to South Carolina. It was mid-afternoon and not much traffic on the road. Suddenly, we heard sirens and quickly realized it was a request for us to pull aside. I became very concerned, even scared, since I knew we were not driving outside of the limit, and I just could not ignore the nagging stories in my head of traffic stops of black people in America. After a series of questions by a very hostile white police officer, having to answer a long list of seemingly irrelevant questions, included having to explain where we were headed, he finally let us go. It was one of the most terrifying experiences I have had to endure. And to date, that emotional trauma still emerges when I am visiting and driving in America. Our ancestors spent years of struggle to simply achieve a state of freedom. However, that experience of discrimination, racism, and inequality, and many more like it, that I'm sure you too have experienced at some point in your life, are constant reminders that we must continue to fight for the basic rights of every human being. Likewise, as Tobagonians and residents of the island, we must fight for the right to continue to develop to our fullest potential as individuals and collectively as a society. The celebration of emancipation pays tribute to the courage of our ancestors in their struggle for the rights which we now have today. It is these very rights that enable us with the choice of democracy and the right to benefit from the rich resources of this land that we call home. It is an honor to have been chosen to take part in this historic moment, which no doubt will be indelibly etched in our minds and documented in the annals of Tobago's history. It is, however, very disheartening that the current rising rate of the COVID-19 infections, taking lives and threatening many others in Tobago, is leaving no one and no organization untouched. And as we pray for speedy recoveries, there is an agreement that the show must go on. I am Denise Tsioafatt-Angus, wife, mother, daughter, doctor, entrepreneur, and a proud product of Tobago. This conversation is a call for everyone to align your thoughts around the beliefs that within this society we can all be able to achieve an acceptable standard of life in Tobago. And more importantly, it is also about having the opportunity to participate actively in transforming our island into a society worthy of becoming the model of the Caribbean. Welcome to the launch of the innovative Democratic Alliance, a carefully constructed vehicle adopting a mandate to develop a new Tobago based on economic freedom, where greater opportunities are created for individuals toward achieving financial freedom. To develop a new Tobago based on social gratification, where the basic and fundamental rights of every human are reflected in the standard of living of every resident. To develop a new Tobago based on an environmental awakening, where we understand the true value of our natural resources, and where we understand the delicate balance which must be established between protecting, preserving, and maximizing the opportunities provided by our resources, which then contribute to building a sustainable society. What is it that we as individuals really want? Or perhaps asked differently, what do you believe is the one purpose for our existence? That question can evoke multiple responses. However, if we sum it up, there's a common thread that we will see. And it is to fulfill the highest attainable expression of ourselves as individuals. So it should never be about doing what you need to, but doing what you love. It is at this point that we all achieve satisfaction and comfort, knowing that there's no pressure to do, but the opportunity to be fulfilled. Because every human has a fundamental right to benefit from the resources that they have been blessed with for the development of every aspect of humanity. We want to create a vision of what Tobago can become and should be. But we want to engage every Tobagonian to be a part of this discussion. And so we start with being innovative, because we believe that the time has come to introduce new ideas to meet the growing demands of all our citizens. The current systems and methods of doing things have run their course, and so we must now embrace the possibility of a new future and direction to achieve what we can imagine. Democratic, because this represents not only perceived freedoms, but more importantly, the spirit of a people that recognize their worth and refuse to settle for less than what they deserve. It is upon this premise that an all-inclusive approach to governance must be taken in an effort to achieve true democracy. Alliance speaks to our ability to identify with each other because of our similarities, aligned interests, and resilient nature. These qualities speak to our natural inclination to always rebound from what may seem insurmountable. We must come together and work to establish and improve a lifestyle that strives to become better each day. The Innovative Democratic Alliance represents the heart of every Tobagonian and resident living and working in Tobago. IDA believes that Tobago can become a modern society where the basic desires and fundamental needs of every individual can be provided when given greater efficiency and through equitable distribution. Our focus will be on the people, the economy, and the environment, addressing the areas of what we believe, what we need, and what must be done to achieve these. Tobagonians and residents of Tobago deserve to have our interests represented in a manner that does not neglect the role that every individual plays in the development of this island. We should be engaged to actively participate in generating economic activity that adds to the drive of creating a self-sufficient economy. This would ensure that Tobago's money circulates in Tobago adequately enough that all can benefit before it crosses the waters and even converted to foreign currency. We must become more environmentally aware. Across the world, there's a keen interest on the jewel of the ecosystem that we possess, sprawled across the eastern landscape. It is definitely a resource which we can harness to create a sustainable environment. We must be focused on creating employment, increased employment opportunities, and giving meaningful support to entrepreneurs towards developing a thriving private sector. The Innovative Democratic Alliance is an open organization that promotes the value of equitable distribution of resources, as well as opportunities to improve the quality of life. Our promise is not dependent on a membership policy, where there is created an inherent expectation of benefit because of political alignment. The ideology of the IDA is based on the priceless value of your voice, because we recognize that you are the most invaluable resource the island has produced. By transparently utilizing and harnessing the vast potential of every stakeholder, we can move Tobago not only forward but upward into regional and international recognition, taking a seat amongst those nations who have transformed their society by prudent management and the collective efforts of every citizen being committed to the vision of development. There must be more to this journey of development. There must be the chance for greater opportunities for progress. We must have better organized communities. There must be more diverse educational opportunities. There must be, and there is, with a redefined vision and collaborative efforts that promote a more productive environment. There must be, and there is. It means climbing out of the perennial box that confines us to limitations of accepting what is given and not what is achievable. I dare you to dream about a Tobago where development is not just a term in legislation, but an individual entitlement of every resident. And let us together realize this new Tobago, because Tobago is you, the people, but Tobago's future is dependent on one collective focus, one vision. Over time, we will continue to share with you what the vision is and what it will achieve. Your contributions are important to our development on the island. As I close, I extend warm greetings on Emancipation Day by quoting from our recently departed brother of Bethel in one of his iconic songs, Brother Resistance, Ring the Bell. It's a long, long time now we fighting for freedom. Victory bound to come. Assemble people and ring the bell. Ring the bell for justice. Ring the bell for culture. Ring the bell for freedom. Ring it all over. The Innovative Democratic Alliance welcomes you to work together with us to build a new Tobago society. So let's ignite Tobago's transformation together.
Tobago, Tobago.
This